All right, ladies, welcome. My name is Allie. I'm really excited to share this opportunity with you all. We are going to be sharing with you tonight the Health and Wealth Blueprint for Moms, a way that you can basically build your way to a more of a freedom lifestyle and where your family, your wellness, and your finances are all going to align. And it's very family friendly and conducive to all of those things, which who doesn't love that, right? Especially as a parent. So before we really dive into things, I want you to remember why you're here. Maybe if you're not on here live, you might be watching the recording and, you reached out to somebody or, you might have seen an ad or wherever you came from, however you got invited here. Remember why you're here. Why are you looking for a change? What's going on in your life right now? And what do you essentially want to change? If you are able to maybe write it down, if you have like a notepad, if you're a note taker, write it down. If you're not, that's okay too. Just I want you to keep it in your heart the entire time. And think about where are you at in your life right now. And I want you to keep it through here. I want to have you keep it close to you through this entire training. I'm so sorry. Give me 1 second. I got to put my phone on do not disturb. I just heard a noise and I don't want something to start ringing while we're going through this. So keep that why close to your heart and also go into this with an open heart and an open mind too. That's super important. So, this is for you if you are missing moments with your kids that you just cannot get back. The bedtime, the school events, slow mornings, holidays. I know for me as a nurse, I had to work a lot of holidays. If you're not working a 9 to 5 where you get holidays and all the things off, a lot of times people are missing out on like Christmas morning with their kids, and I can't even imagine like missing that kind of stuff and even just football games and like drop-offs and pickups. You're pouring into everybody else, but you're running on empty between like work and the kids and your marriage, if you're married, your relationship with your partner, hobbies, friends, family, all the things. It's really, really tough to keep up on, all of those things. And today in the society expects moms to do it all, which is like absolutely insane. You just can't do it all and like also have a like be mentally well, right? And have like a be thriving basically. And mom guilt, right? We all know mom guilt. Put in the chat, put a one in the chat if you if you have mom guilt. Like I feel like I have it probably almost every day, and you might feel like you feel guilty for working, but then you would feel guilty if you're not working because you feel like you're not doing enough and you want to be able to provide, right? You want to be able to contribute to your family, and you might feel like you're not doing enough if you're not financially contributing. Let's see, I see a comment here in the chat. Yeah, Mindy says she feels that for sure. The mom guilt is so real. I mean, even just over things where it's like, oh, like I do I spend time with my kids or do I go like exercise or this and that? It's so real. But we have to remember that we're worthy and we deserve that time for ourselves too. And this is also for you if you keep telling yourself, like, this is just a season, it's just a season right now. But like deep down in your gut, you really know there's something like stirring in you that this is just not sustainable. It's not sustainable for a mother to give her all to her kids, give her all to a job, and just like being pulled in a million different directions. And the career and the kids, like both of them are like basically fighting each other for attention, and neither one of them cares about the other, right? Like your boss would replace you tomorrow, right? Like they truly don't care. But your kids really just want you and all of your time. So, pop a one in the chat if you feel like you've ever had that before. Like this is just a season, even though deep down, like maybe you are basically just burning the candle at both ends and that this is not sustainable. Yeah, totally. I know you guys are feeling this. This is landing already. That's great. And I don't know if you guys can see my picture on my end. It looks like it didn't show up, but that's okay. All right, so I'm going to just quickly introduce myself. For those of you that don't know me, my name's Allie Hoffman. I think all of the women here that are live, you have all connected with me very recently, so you might not know me very well yet. So I actually was an ICU nurse for most of my career. I've been an RN for 10 years, and I just got burnt out. And really, things shifted for me big time with COVID. And then also, whenever I had my son, I tried to go back to work, like just part-time. I've tried to do it a few times, like throughout his life. He's only 4.5. I've just always been called home. Like there's just something in me that like just doesn't sit right with missing out on my son's childhood and like having to work those holidays, like I, mentioned before, because as a bedside nurse, you just always had to like pick a couple holidays per season that you had to work. It was non-negotiable. And so now I am a wellness entrepreneur and a freedom mentor for moms and nurses. And I'm helping women really create that time freedom that we all really crave. So that way we can have that flexibility and while also having financial peace and not having to worry about money, not having to worry about, reporting to a job and just like really having that freedom to just enjoy your life and enjoy your children while you have them, right? And I think a couple of you on here are also homeschool moms too, right? So like that was a big vision of mine whenever I saw this opportunity that I'm like, I really want to homeschool my son and I want to be able to be present for that and not have to worry about a job and have to like be restricted in any way. So, and I'm also very passionate about helping women not only step into their power and like become their best selves, like a professional growth standpoint, but also their wellness too. Like I really, really am so passionate about helping women be the best in their wellness as well. So that way, when you feel good, that's just going to flow over into your family. When you feel really good, and your children are going to, be positively impacted by that. Just the same as if you don't feel good and your mental health isn't good and you're burnt out, your children are going to feel that too. Your spouse is going to feel that. So I'm really, really passionate about taking a holistic approach whenever I bring women in and I mentor them. So enough about me though. I'm going to hand it over to Abby and she is going to get us started with this presentation. And just give me one second. I'm going to look at the chat. Yeah, you ladies are resonating for sure. I love it. All right. All right, Abby, take it away.
All right. Hello, everybody. So my name is Abby, and I'm on Ellie's team. And we've done a handful of these presentations, and typically we've done them for nurses, with both of us being a nurse. And so this is the first one that I am participating on for moms. And it's kind of a special story about that, that just ties into like why I'm here, because I'm not quite a mom yet, but I am on a whole fertility journey to become a mom, and that was honestly a huge reason of why I started this business in the first place. And I was a nurse for like 5 years, feeling the burnout. I don't know. Is anyone here a nurse? Are you guys nurses? Pop a two in the chat if you are a nurse. I don't know if I haven't talked to you, so I don't know. But being a nurse, like you just feel a lot of burnout from that. And it was starting to affect my health and my mentality, because I would go through these stints where I would work a whole bunch of overtime in a couple of months and then kind of relax my shifts and work a whole bunch of overtime. And when I would do those overtime stints, I could just feel the effects on my health and my mentality. I could see how it was affecting me. Like even looking in the mirror, I could see it in my face. And then also around that time, on my last like overtime stint that I was doing around that time, um, me and my husband were also trying to start a family, and we were having issues with that. And I knew that it was tied into like how much I was working and how work was affecting my health. But like the main driver of starting this business is because I saw the potential that it had for me to be able to be home whenever I do have children, or even during my pregnancy, whenever I finally do get pregnant. We're still on the fertility journey. It's been a wild one. But this business is going to allow me to be able to focus on my health while I go through all that. It's going to be able to help pay for fertility treatments whenever we get to that point. It is just, I saw so much in it that is going to be able to help me whenever I do become a mom, because even though I don't have kids yet, my biggest fear is having to go back to work right after I have a baby. I see so many coworkers have to do that, and it breaks my heart for them. You only get so much time with your little newborn at home, and then you have to be like shoved right back into this chaotic work environment and have someone else, help raise your child. And that is just like one of the biggest fears. I was like, I will absolutely not let that happen. And so right around that time, this business came across, and I was like, oh my gosh, like this is it. This is where I get to be able to focus on my health while I focus on creating a family, and while I get to build a future where I don't have to leave my future kids. And another like major thing with that is what I've realized with this entire business model is it's such a service-based pathway, because we all want things. We all want things for our future. We all want things for ourselves. We all want things for our family. But on the journey of helping others get what they want for themselves and their families and their futures, in return you get what you want too. And I just absolutely loved that about this business too. Okay, so let's get into it. So I know Ali mentioned that there were some homeschool mamas on here. If you are a homeschool mama, drop in the chat what you did before you became a homeschool mama, and if you're not, drop in the chat what you do now. What career paths have you guys done, or are you currently in? I'm curious. Occupational therapy, so also in the medical field. Revenue cycle for claims, yeah. Awesome. So, and then planning to start homeschooling this spring, current RN. Awesome. So you guys all know then the feeling of what this slide is about. We call it the rat race cycle. And it's basically where you're just stuck. You're stuck in the economics, and you're stuck in where society wants you to be stuck. Like you're working your job, you're trading your time for money, but your money, you're told how much you make. You have bills to pay, groceries to buy, all the things. But then there are times where you still want to do things for yourself. You want to go on vacations. You want to buy the new things for your home. You want to like upgrade your home or whatever it is. But with the amount of money that you're making, it's like we can't always afford those extra things. And so we put ourselves into debt to afford those things. We put our vacations on our credit card, or we take out a loan to upgrade our home, or whatever it is. And then you come back and you're like, okay, now I have this debt. Now I have to get back to work and maybe work a little bit more. And you just always find yourself stuck in this cycle, and it's just the rat race cycle. And let me know if drop a one in the chat if you have felt the squeeze of the rat race cycle, or if you're currently in it. And Ali, if you want to pop to the next slide. So, yeah, I see some ones. Yeah. So the rat race cycle is very, very much tied to the left side of this chart. And so this chart is the cash flow quadrant. There's four different sections. You have E, B, S, and I. The left side of this cash flow quadrant is where you do not want to be. You do not want to be an employee, and you do not want to be self-employed, because when you are an employee and when you are self-employed, you are trading all of your time for money. You don't have anything to leverage except literally your life. You don't have any time because you're sinking it in to create money. And your income is limited because when you're an employee, you're told how much you are going to make. And if you're self-employed, you can't work yourself to death. So you can only make however much you can work. And on the left side of this, I like to describe this as it being hard now, and it's going to be hard later. Because if we stay on this left side in 20, 25 years, it's going to be the same. It's still going to be hard. You're still going to be trading your time for money either way, if you're an employee or if you're self-employed. So on the right side of this, you have business owner and you have investor. The right side is where you want to be. The right side is where you want to put your energy and where you want your focus to go. The right side is where you get leverage. You get to leverage your time because you can create things where others are also contributing to your income. So you are not spending all of your time creating income, or you could build systems that create the income for you. And with business owners, a lot of, business owners have systems and have others that are creating income for them, allowing them to get their time back. And then, I mean, investing, we all know investing. Our money is just going to make us money with investing. And then the with the right side also is you get in unlimited income. When you're a business owner, your business can grow. And if you have your system set up right, they will just grow and grow. And then obviously with investing, it's unlimited income. But the thing is with the right side, if you put in time and money into the right side, if you put in the time to build the systems, if you're a business owner, if you put in the money to invest whenever you are investing, it makes things easy later. So in 20, 25 years later, all of the systems that you're working on now are going to be, like now you're just starting out, but then later on they're going to be working for you in 20, 25 years. That's going to be easy. And then with investing, obviously, we know our money compounds. So that is also easy later. The right side is where you really want to focus. And especially with being a business owner, because if you build your systems right, they will set you up for the rest of your life. You will have the easiest life later on this right side of the chart. And so I want to ask you, is the way you're currently creating income now going to continue to pay you for the rest of your life, whether you're working or not? Or will the money stop working when you stop working? So if you just quit your job tomorrow or quit whatever you're doing to make income, are you still going to be paid or is the money going to stop? This is really big with leverage. With being an employee, you don't get to leverage. If you are an employee and you don't show up to work, you don't get paid. But with a business owner and having the right systems in place, if you take off for a month, those systems are going to keep working, whether you're there or not. Okay, so before we really get into this, I just a couple key points here. I just want to let you guys know. So we're not going to sugarcoat. This is a raw, real talk. We're going to talk about raw, real numbers. If you're looking for fluff and rainbows, this isn't the place, but this is the place where you're going to learn some really cool things. And with this opportunity, it is an investment opportunity, but I don't want you to scare that. Just think about the cash flow, or I don't want that to scare you. Think about the cash flow quadrant, okay? Hard now, easy later versus hard now, hard later. If investing scares you, I still want you to listen to the end of this because you are still going to learn some really cool things. And then this opportunity is for driven individuals. This is not a get rich quick scheme. This is something where you do have to put in work in order to make it work. But like I said, hard now, easy later. Okay, so what is all this about? What are we talking about? What is this opportunity? So this whole opportunity is about something that can solve 100% of people's problems on the planet. Pretty cool, right? And it's about our water. So think of this, everybody in the world drinks water. Every single person needs water to survive. So this is an opportunity that is going to be able to help every single person on the planet forever. And the reason, so water, okay, at least your body is at least 70% water. Every part of your body, every organ, every muscle, everything is water. And so when you think about your health, think about how you feel on a day-to-day basis. Okay, just in general, I just want you to keep in mind, like, how are you feeling on a day-to-day basis? Or do you feel dehydrated? Do you feel like no matter how much you drink, you're not hydrating properly? Like if you feel like you could drink gallons on gallons a day, but you still just feel thirsty. So just kind of think of how you keep that in mind while we go through this on how you feel on a day-to-day basis. So, according to Forbes, 75% of Americans are chronically dehydrated. And so, on average, only about 2.5 cups of water are being drank a day, which is not near not enough at all of water intake. And a lot of chronic diseases that people battle on day-to-day basis is because of dehydration. Like your cells do not work the way that they need to work if they are not getting hydrated properly. So, in general, the most of the world is not, they're not only not drinking enough, but the water that they are drinking is also working against them. And I want to know, have any of you guys heard of EWG? Drop a two in the chat if you know who EWG is or what the EWG is. It's pretty cool. And we'll show you a link that you can click on to figure out what's going on with your specific water too. So the EWG, I guess like a summary, they analyze a lot of metrics, and city water is one of the metrics that they analyze. And so if you go in, and we'll show you in the next slide, but if you go in and type in oh, maybe not this one. I'm getting ahead of myself. But the EWG, so they monitor different metrics, and one of the things that they monitor are the chemicals that are in your drinking water. And if you go to their website, you can actually type in your zip code, and it will tell you what contaminants and chemicals are in your drinking water. And it's pretty crazy. So with regular city water or even well water, you have to be careful with that because there are a lot of industrial agricultural contaminants. There's a lot of chemicals, residue from cleaning processes. Like it can get pretty scary of what is in like regular tap water and with well water too. And if you know what like BPAs and PFAs are, a lot of those are in our water as well. And like a lot of them, the contaminants, they can cause cancers, they can cause neuro diseases, nervous system damage, GI issues. If you feel like you're bloated all the time after you drink water, it could be because of what's in the water that you're drinking. It can also cause reproductive fertility problems, and then like we talked about, dehydration. And so this is the link that I was talking to you guys about with the EWG, and you can actually click on that link too. And I super encourage you to do this. Like the first time that I went to their site and checked out what was in my city's water, I think we had like 28 contaminants. And a key point about the contaminants too, I think it was a couple slides ago, I didn't say it, but a lot of them are not federally regulated. And so the EWG, like I said, they just monitor metrics. They will put what they believe should be a limit, and a lot of the contaminants are way above the limit. A lot of these are not federally regulated. Like I said, I think we had like 28 contaminants, and like 75% of those were cancer causing. Okay, so the solution that we're talking about with water, we are going to show you a solution to have cleaner, healthier drinking water. And it's not bottled water. That's also terrible, filled with microplastics. I hope we all know that by now. It's not reverse osmosis. Yes, reverse osmosis filters things out, but if you don't know that with reverse osmosis, you also have to add minerals back in because it also filters out all your good minerals. So it filters everything out. And so if you're not adding your minerals back in, you're stripping yourself of minerals, but it's also not the answer here, and you'll see why. Spring water can contain bacteria and parasites. It's not filtered properly or cleaned. And well water, like I talked about, can have a lot of pharmaceuticals and pesticides. So none of these are the answer to our water issue that we need to have. We need to have the best water ever in order to function at our best selves. Okay, so what is the solution to this water crisis that we're in? It is proper prefiltration and ionization. And so what we do here with this business is we show you how to pre-filter your water properly in order to have it be ionized properly. So ionization is the key with water. Ionization is how you make your water act the way that it needs to act in order to do the best for your body. Ionization, when your water is ionized, it helps your body function in a way that it keeps your body at homeostasis. It helps keep your body balanced. And whenever your water is ionized, it actually provides cellular hydration, like literally down to the cellular level that you are getting hydrated. Any other water you're drinking, like the spring water, the bottled water, even reverse osmosis water, all of that water is considered dead water. With ionization, it actually like brings it alive. It puts a negative electrical charge into the water, which is good. Like with our bodies, you hear about oxidative stress. So oxidation is positive. We don't want positive in our body. Um, with ionization, it puts a negative charge through the water, and that helps bring everything back to balance. It helps bring everything back to homeostasis. And a really cool thing I learned about like the negative ionization is so think about being at the beach. Think about being near a waterfall or in nature, the forest, the mountains. All of those environments are fueled with negative ions, and that's why you feel so good in them. Okay, so Kangen water is this company's patented version of ionized water. And their bread and butter machine that they use is the K8. The K8 ionizes your water so that your body gets properly hydrated down to the cellular level and can be balanced and function in a homeostatic state. Um, it is hydrogen rich. So if you guys have heard of molecular hydrogen, that is what is inside of this water. And molecular hydrogen is one of the I think it is the most powerful antioxidant on this planet. It helps neutralize free radicals, it reduces inflammation, and it promotes detoxification. And drinking K8, like I said, it balances your pH, it combats acidosis, it combats oxidation, it supports long-term vitality, energy, and well-being. What you drink makes such a difference in how your body functions. I'm gonna go off on like a little side note here. I went on a little girls' trip last weekend, and one of the girls kept talking about how she was always bloated and it didn't matter how much water she drank, she just always felt like she wasn't drinking enough. But she kept saying that like to her water was just water. And so I got to tell her that water is not just water and it does matter what water you are drinking. And it was interesting to hear perspectives of people who like just did not know that different waters did different things to your body, but they do. This water is going to help with just long-term vitality all around for you, for your family. So the K8 machine that I was telling you about, it also provides 7 other different types of quality water, and we'll get into those in a little bit. The machine and this water is endorsed by thousands of doctors all over the world. And it's the only OEM water ionizer in the business, meaning that every single part is created in the plant of Enagic. Every single part, even down to the cardboard box, is created in-house. And we talked about some of these things, it increases energy focus, neutralizes acids, it's better for the immune system, better for the colon, and it is considered a medical grade water. You can actually carry this water through an airport with you as well. And one of the quality waters that this machine produces is called hypochlorous acid, and that is the 2.5 level of water that it produces. It's a 2.5 pH. I am curious, who on here has heard of hypochlorous acid? I know there's like a big like beauty fad about it. Like a girl at my work had brought a little thing of hypochlorous acid in one day and was spraying it on her face. Yeah, so this machine produces hypochlorous acid out of just water. There's no added chemicals at all. And you just turn a knob and you get endless hypochlorous acid right from the faucet of this machine. You can use it to sterilize things around your house. It has the same chemical properties as bleach, but it's just non-toxic. Okay, so this company Enagic, they have these are their products. That's it. Like this is it. It's not, 150 different products. It's not all these variations. This is it. So we talked about the K8 and another of theirs is the Anespa, which is basically a shower filter slash shower spa. So it filters all of that yucky stuff out of your water and it also remineralizes the water. So you're getting to shower in nice clean water that is also remineralized. So it's basically like a home shower spa. And then the M-Guard it's like just a little block, and this helps protect you from EMF around your home. It's portable, so if you're chilling in your living room watching TV, you can set it in there. If you want to go to your office area, you can bring it. You can set it on your bedside table at night. You can bring it in the car with you. It's just this little portable box, and it helps protect you from all the EMF radiation in your home or your car or wherever you're at. You can even take it to work with you. And then they also have the Ukan, which is their in-house grown Ukan, or I'm sorry, in-house grown turmeric. And it's actually grown with Kangen water too. So it's like as pure you can get with turmeric. And if you know about turmeric, it's a powerful antioxidant and anti-inflammatory. You can get this in different variations too. You can do a tea, a soap, or a capsule form. Okay, so how does all of this help you provide time and financial freedom for you and your family, though? How is all of this going to help you be home more with your family and, um, have freedom to focus on you and your family? Okay, I'm gonna pass it back over to Ali. Thank you guys.
Wow, Abby, thank you so much. You did such an incredible job at going over the water crisis and the K8, which is one of my favorite things on this planet. How is everybody feeling? Is everybody like just mind blown by the water and did everybody kind of know that what's in our water is bad, or is this like a complete eye-opening, like mind-blowing experience? I would love to hear in the chat because I know when I first saw this, I didn't know. I used to drink bottled water. We had an RO system for a while in our old house, and I didn't know that. I didn't even know bottled water was bad. I had no idea, which is like so crazy to say that. I was very naive back then. I'm curious if anybody has, oh, you were drinking Aquafina. Yeah, oh my gosh, I can't stand the taste of Aquafina, like any of those ones. Well water, and we have a water softener, but we don't drink your water. Yeah, so what water do you drink then if you searching home filters? Yeah, totally. I mean, the water everywhere. I know in Florida it's really bad, and I've heard many other places it's pretty bad. Tabletop water filter system. Okay, so that's pretty good. At least you filter it, but a lot of times, unfortunately, a lot of the filters don't filter everything out. So people are still getting some of those contaminants in there, but all right, we're going to move along. So I think everyone's probably really excited to now dive into the business model, which I am really excited to share it with you all too. So really what we have here, it's a true freedom business model, and it's a high ticket. So I don't know if you guys have ever heard of it before, but we're going to get into it. It lets you have time freedom, location freedom, financial freedom, and health freedom. So I think everybody on here probably, or if you're watching the recording, you probably are on here for one, if not all of those reasons. That's what you're looking for? So, oops, skipped one ahead. So this business model, again, like I said before, it's high ticket. So we're going to go over just really quickly like high ticket versus low ticket. So we'll take a look at basically traditional MLM, which is like low ticket versus a leveraged income model, which is also what we have here is high ticket. So in low ticket, you usually have to have you monthly quotas. You lose your rank if you don't perform. I know because I did low ticket for a while before I found this opportunity. And I would always be on like that hamster wheel at the end of the month, like trying to, get in all the sales, meet the quotas, and then literally starting over at the first of the month. And then if I didn't perform, I would literally lose my rank, like everything that I worked so hard for, which is like such a burnout model, to be honest. So you're only earning like 220 to $150 a sale, maybe. So it really isn't that much, honestly, especially with inflation, right? You have to have auto ships on your products. They require you to purchase product. It's a low ticket item. So again, like low ticket is only going to yield you between like 20 to 100 bucks. There's no opportunities to really have like leverage and something to leave on to the next generation, legacy income, which we're going to get into in a few minutes. There's usually like licensing and fees, and it's very much like a recruiting like hey girl cold messages culture, which is very icky. I'm sure a lot of us have received some of those messages before and nobody likes that, right? So what we have here is there are no quotas. You never lose your rank. So you could come into this and work your way up, and you could go and do like maternity leave or go on vacation, or life happens, take time off. You're not going to lose any of your progress at all, which is really cool. That was like such a game changer for me when I saw this, to be honest. You are going to make anywhere from $350 all the way up to $4,500 a sale. And it even goes up higher than that, to be honest. I'd say upwards of like between $7,000 and $8,000. It just depends on what you sell. But can you imagine making $8,000 in one transaction? I want that to sink in. I know that's like for some people, it's like a really big number. It's like mind blowing, right? But it's true. It's very possible here. So, and then there's optional auto ships for the growth of your business. So it's not required. And this is a high ticket business model. Like I was saying before, you have high ticket products and it's going to yield you higher ticket commissions. And you have an opportunity to build generational wealth here, which we're going to go into in a minute. We don't have any licensing fees or minimums or anything like that. And then it's not a recruitment type of mentality. It's very much like an attraction and sharing this in a really like authentic way. So really quickly, just going to show this to you. So high ticket difference, as you can see, like each machine pays out around $2,800. If you were to purchase or sell three products, it would be around 4,600. And then if you were to sell four products, it's going to be around this number too. These are kind of ballpark. They're not exact, but they're pretty close. So the summary of high ticket and why you are absolutely going to love it is you literally take the same amount of time to work something that's high ticket as it does for low ticket, but you're actually, 10xing or more what you would get in return. You need less transactions to hit $10,000 a month with high ticket. So if that's maybe a goal of yours, is just like an easy number to share here. $10,000 a month is pretty achievable with this business model. And so the product is something that 100% of the people on the planet need, right? Versus like, someone's selling like makeup or someone is selling shakes or this and that. Not everyone needs shakes. Not everyone needs makeup. Water is something that everybody wants and needs on this planet. And you get cash back instantly just from starting your business, which is pretty cool. I've never heard of any other place doing that. So really quickly, we'll go into creating your own offer, which is like a brick and mortar type of opportunity. I don't know if has anyone ever thought about starting their own business, whether it was like online or, an Etsy shop or, even just like a brick and mortar, like a place you would actually go, an in-person brick and mortar. Let me know in the comments if you've ever thought about starting a business. So we're going to compare starting your own versus affiliating with an offer, which is what we do here. So If you were to create your own offer or open up a brick and mortar business or create your own product, it's going to cost you, it's going to be a very high investment upfront. I mean, upwards of multiple six figures. In many other online businesses, you likely have to wear all the hats. You're literally doing all the things. What happens when people get in these types of opportunities with like create or opening a business like that or starting a business like that is they really like they start it because they think they're going to have freedom, but really what they are doing is just creating themselves a job that like usually isn't going to pay them for a few years. So they're working their butts off and like not really making any money. So it takes a long time to be able to build a business like that and for you to test, create the product, test it, and like really convert it and get it to work and be successful. And so most businesses, like I was just saying, most businesses don't profit until they're like 3 to 5 years in. 3 to 5 years in, they're not making profit, and it's multiple six figures to start that business. So imagine you're busting your butt and you're, working for basically nothing. And often you're doing those businesses alone because you're not doing it in like a community, and you would have to invest if you want to be a part of like masterminds and stuff, which are absolutely necessary. Because in order for you to grow and to get around other people, a lot of times you're having to pay really high costs to be able to attend something like this. So versus when you affiliate with an offer, it's a lower upfront investment. You have access to tools and resources and mentorship and a lot of things and systems that are already done for you. So that way you can focus on building the business. You're not having to wear a million different hats. Okay. And with this is also a model that's been proven time and time again. So you're not like showing up and it's not a guessing game on what you're supposed to do to be successful. So, and we're also partnered with a product that, like I was just saying on the previous slide, that people want and they need. Everyone drinks water, everyone takes a shower. And with this business, instead of taking 3 to 5 years to make a profit, you would profit after 3 to 5 sales. So that's only 3 to 5 sales would get you to profit to where you're in the green. You make your investment, you make between 3 and 5 sales, and it just kind of depends on like how you get started and what you sell. But you would be in profit after that. So I mean, honestly, it's a no-brainer. And then after that, you have the potential to build that leveraged income like we've been talking about throughout this presentation. And so really you have the ability to, in this type of offer and community, because you're affiliating with one and there's already a lot of other people doing it, you have the opportunity to collaborate with like-minded individuals and you're not having to invest thousands and thousands of dollars in masterminds. All right, so I'm going to tell you why you're going to love Enagic. That is the company that we're partnered with. I think Abby might have already said it, but in case she didn't, Enagic, I'm going to tell you some of our favorite things that we love about it. So our compensation plan is actually patented. There's no other company out there that has a compensation plan that we do. It's an 8-point system. We have done for you systems and mentorship. There's no sign-up fees. We're not spamming people. We're not pestering friends and family and asking them to buy from us. Like I had just mentioned before, like the low ticket kind of, we're taught to do that. I know I was, and it was very icky feeling. My skin crawls even saying it. You're not stocking up on inventory. You're not holding product. You're not shipping anything. Enagic completely takes care of that. So like that eliminates and again, a lot of other businesses when they have that type of model where they are holding the inventory or like they're having to ship out the product and like they have a lot more overhead, like thousands and thousands of dollars a month in overhead. You don't have any of that here. Again, no brainer. No monthly quotas or qualifications. We don't derank, like I mentioned before, so you don't start over every single month. You accumulate group sales so you can actually get points off of other team sales. So it's really like you're working as a team, which is really cool. There's no annual renewals. We are not like there's no like fees like that. You can earn monthly passive income. And this is really unlike anything else in the direct selling industry. So this is direct sales. I know compared side by side MLM and then this model. And a lot of times people do think like, oh, well, this is MLM. It's actually not. It's direct sales model. And so Enagic actually just celebrated 51 years just this over the summer. Abby and I both went to their convention, and it was like one of the best things that I've ever been to in my life, honestly. And they have oops. and they have a 500-year business plan. So the company is legit, they are rock solid, and they're debt free. So, really quickly, and I'm going to go into some compensation stuff, and you all don't have to understand it right now, but the whole premise in us sharing this in depth with you is so you can really see what's possible here with these visuals. So, really, it just breaks it down like per product, what you would make per point. So, say you were making all 8 points. So, I mean, if you do $351 times 8 points, that really starts to add up. And so you can see there's 8 points, eight pieces of the pie. And so you might get 4 points, somebody else might get 2 points, and so on. So, I mean, it's not just all one person usually getting all of the commission. Sometimes it is that way. But there's 8 pieces of it to go around. And that's basically what it is with the 8 point system. All right, so this is the part where I was saying like don't get hung up on like the numbers or feel like you don't understand like the different ranks and stuff. This is really just simply for you to understand or like to see what's possible here. So when we say the quad breakdown, that is with selling 4 products, like a 4 product package, okay? And so what we want you to really see here is that when you sell this package, you can start earning, and most people will start around 2A or 3A. When they first get started. And again, it just depends on what you end up coming in with and when you invest. And so you end up starting making around $2,300 with your first sale by helping one person get these amazing products in their home. You're making $2,300, between 23 to $2,800. And so when you are making 8 of these, or sorry, 8 points with these, it's goes up to $6,200, even all the way up to 74. That's basically $7,500. So I want everyone to just take a moment because I know these numbers sometimes are like shocking. I know I felt that way too whenever I saw this. What would that do for your family to be able to make an extra $6,200 a month? What would that do for you? Would that allow you to maybe do some things right now that you can't do? Or I think some of you maybe want to be able to leave your current position so you can have more time with your kids. Like what would that do for your family specifically? I would love to hear if anyone's able to share. I know moms with bedtime might be happening right now, so we might not be able to share. Let's see. I did see somebody stay at home and pay off debt. Yeah, absolutely. Stay home. Yeah, absolutely. I think that is the biggest thing. I talk to so many moms, and for myself too. That's the biggest thing, is just to be able to stay home, because time is our greatest asset, and it's something that we can't renew. It's a non-renewable resource, and it's our greatest asset, right? So to be able to get that time with our kids is just, honestly, it's priceless, right? So we'll go into these really quickly. So the two basic comp plans that we have here to maximize your income. So again, I was just speaking about the quad, that's 4 products. So you would be making anywhere from like $1,500 up to like 5,600, and it actually even goes up above 5,600. But again, these are like ballpark numbers just so you can get a feel for, if you want to be able to, I mean, I would say nurses, because that's what I'm most familiar with. Most nurses that I speak to are probably making anywhere from like 5,000, some, if they're travel nurses, almost $10,000 a month. So can you imagine if you just wanted to earn $5,000 a month, you would just need to help one family with get these products in their home, and that's it. Just one. And so with the fast track, that is going to be three of the core products plus 2. So it's basically 5. Sometimes people will purchase 6 too. It just depends on their needs, in their home and financially. So you can go anywhere from around $2,000 all the way up to like $6,800. And again, it could be a little bit more than this, just depending on what the package is. But again, it's just like a ballpark number. So here, I'm going to look at the chat again really quick. You would swap your entire income monthly. Incredible. Yeah, yeah. In one sale, you can literally, I think most people, it depends on what you're used to making a month, right? You can in one sale, helping one family get these products in their home, you would be able to replace your income. So it's pretty cool, right? All right. And so with when I was saying that this is a direct sales model, so it goes over and down versus like when you have that like MLM is usually like pyramid, right? And it goes like one person at the top and then there's all these people and then the person at the top is usually making all the money, right? And it's like this and the if you, I don't know if you guys are familiar with that. I won't get too far into that. But with this model, it's kind of like real estate. If you guys know how like a realtor like brokerage goes, where it's like you have a broker, you have the realtors who work with them or like in their franchise, if you will, and then the realtors are selling homes and then they're earning a commission and then the broker ends up getting a percentage of that. So it's kind of like that where it goes like over and down. So yeah, you guys can let me know if that makes sense. If not, again, it's okay. But as you can see at 3A, 1K8, or sorry, does that say K8? Yes, K8. My picture was in the way. 1K8 or quad sale is going to be $2,800. And so six of these is then going to give you almost $17,000. Six sales, only six machines, six people could be almost $17,000 in your pocket. Okay, so we're going to go into the quad strategy a little bit more. The benefits of investing to build your business this way. So with the quad strategy, again, it's the four products that you would get started with. You instantly get cash back. So the company gives you cash back for starting your business. And like I said, these numbers are going to be potentially a little bit different. These are kind of just an estimate, but you would get around that amount back. And I think even right now, I want to say it's probably close to $1,000 right now. It really just depends on like specifically how you get started. But it's great. You would get money back either way. It's great. You would get money back just for starting your business. I've never heard of any other company doing that. And so your first sale commissions, you would be getting anywhere kind of between $2,300 up to $2,800. So, and getting started, what this is, I would say a ballpark of the investment for a quad is going to be anywhere from like around $12,000 close to $15,000. So, and I know some of you might be thinking like, wow, that's a lot of money. But really you have to like think here is the return on investment. So the return on investment, you would be able to have this paid off and you would be in the green and you would be in profit at about five sales, like we were saying before. So we do have options to get people started with $0 down and zero out of pocket, which that's, something we'll get into a little bit later on. All right. And so the fast track strategy, that was the five or six products that I was talking about before. So in the same thing where you would get cash back. These would be about what your first sale would be, and this is per sale, mind you. Remember, this is per sale, not total. It's per person that you help, and you would be looking at around 15,000 to like 17 to 18,000 to get started. And again, we have those financing options, $0 down, zero out of pocket, and then you're getting that money back too. Remember at the top here, you're getting that cash back as well whenever you start your business. And then you would have your return on investment in just five sales. So it's helping five families. Abby, and I don't know, can you come out? I feel like, and let me know if you remember, there was something that you had mentioned for me to say on this slide, and I'm just having a total mom brain moment. So if you remember, can you come out? If you don't, that's okay. But if I miss something, come out.
Hi. Yeah, and whenever me and Allie were creating this, like typically whenever we create these master classes, we don't like just straight out put the price on there because the price seems scary. People are like, "Oh my God, it's so much money." But that's what makes this high ticket sales versus low ticket sales. That's what makes this opportunity allow you to make so much money in return is because of the prices. Um, and that's what like that's what makes this so stand out so much is the prices because like Ali was saying with the return on investment, like if we were to take the price and let's just say we were talking about $15. And so if you see on the bottom left there, it says the ROI is paid off in 5 sales. So, if let's say you invested $15 and then you sell something, you make three back, sell something, make three back, you do that 5 times, then you're, back zeroed again. It's the same thing, but in a much larger scale, which is why you can make so much money in this space. And so with these numbers, like whenever I was talking to Ali about it, I was like, there's two types of people. There's the types of people that will see these numbers and run for the hills, or there's the type of person that will see these numbers and go, I see the potential in what this could make me. And so,
You're muted, Abby.
okay, I was gonna say my phone landed on there and it hit something, but that's all I wanted to add on that.
Beautiful. Thank you for adding that in. Yeah, and it's so true. I actually was listening to a podcast earlier today, and I feel like I need to share this because he basically was talking about how would you, if someone was trying to sell you a suitcase for like $10,000, but there was $1 million like bills of hundreds. There's $1 million inside that suitcase, but he only wanted $10,000 for it. You'd come up with that money, right? You would find a way to buy that suitcase because you know what's inside of it. So this is kind of like that, where it's like, yes, you are having to make that investment up front, but the potential and what you can create here is literally millions, millions and millions, you know? So kind of just another like way or analogy, if you will, to think of it. And yeah, and Abby's right. Like, are you the type of person to just, go through a presentation and just see the information and not do anything with it? Or are you going to be the type of person that is going to take off and run with it and change your freaking life? It's up to you. So, well, with that, we'll move on. So I know we're going to go over time here, and I apologize, ladies, but sorry, not sorry. Abby and I are very passionate, and this opportunity is incredible. And we just want to share as much as we can with you. So this is just really quick for you to look at the numbers. Don't get caught up on like the ranks and stuff. But as you can see, as you move through the business, you are going to earn more per sale. And so these are per sale again. So thinking about like when you get up here this is one person that you're helping. So see how it really is so doable to get into those like 5-figure months if that's what you're after. So with Enagic's 8-point quad hack, and by that is just the selling those types of packages, this is the income potential. So for example, if you want to earn $100,000 a year, which like who wouldn't, right? It's 13 sales. If you want to earn $500,000 a year, it's 64 sales. If you want to earn 250 a year, it's 32. And if you want to earn $1 million, it's 129 sales per year. So as you can see, that's very doable. It's very doable. All right, so we are going to get into, I see a comment here. Let me see. Oh, yes, and group sales is added into that. You're right, Abby, group sales too. So this is one of my favorite things. It's really hard to choose just one because this company and this opportunity is just so incredible. But this was something that really stood out to me when I saw this as a mom. So these are the higher like leadership ranks of Enagic. And so once you hit 6A, like that was one of the ranks that you saw on that previous slide, you get a $3,000 bonus. And then it goes up from there. So when you get these, you're getting these bonuses, you're getting these bonuses, right? And so this one right here, and the reason we have it circled, what's special about this is once you hit this rank, 6A2-3, you get not only a $25,000 bonus, but every single month for the rest of your life, you are going to get $5,000 every single month. It doesn't matter if you stop working the business, it doesn't matter. This is a non-negotiable every single month for the rest of your life. You are going to get at least $5,000. And when you reach this point in your business, you're going to automatically have people in your organization continuing to produce. So it's going to end up being more than $5,000 a month, more than likely. All right. And so not only that, will you get it for the rest of your life, you can will that down to your children. Okay. And then after that, that can be willed down to the next three generations, you guys. So when you reach this rank, not only are you setting yourself and your family up for the rest of your life, but you're setting up the future generations. You have the opportunity here to break generational, poverty, those financial generational curses, okay? This is freaking powerful, you guys. This is pop some comments in the chat. I want to hear is everyone's mind blown by the fact that you can will this down to your children? You can get this amount of money per month for the rest of your life, and then you can will this down to your children in the future generations. And it only goes up from there. So as you can see, the bonuses and then the monthlies for life continue to increase as you move through the ranks. And I know some of you might be thinking, well, there's probably nobody that reaches those ranks. It's probably only a couple of people, which is not true. I feel like every single month I keep seeing and hearing about like, another person hit dash three, or another person's dash two and they're almost there. There are some people in the company that have already reached these top ones. Okay. And so I want you to know that it is very possible. It is so possible. We obviously can't guarantee anything to you, but it's very, very possible here. So I want you all to like really sink in and like let this marinate for you and to catch the vision about how you can literally set your family up for the rest of their lives for three generations. I'm going to look at the chat. Um, she says, yeah, super unique and exciting to think about the potential. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, honestly, when I saw this opportunity, I was like, the water, I nerded out on the water and I thought that was super cool with the science and like I was just mind blown by like what's in our water because I had no idea. But when I saw this, I was like, all right, that's it, game over. Like I'm doing this because yeah, with the legacy income, it's just honestly a no-brainer. So, you guys thought that was all. Um, with that, you also receive development bonuses. So honestly, I feel like Enagic is always trying to find, I always say this because I feel like they're always trying to find like different ways that they can pay us. They really are such a generous company. They give leadership bonuses and educational bonuses. There's profit sharing and there's international pool bonuses, there's monthly contests, and then there's group sale incentive bonuses monthly and quarterly. So there's so many ways that you can get paid here. And again, like what I was saying before on the previous slide and really emphasize, this business is willable and deedable. So that's what we mean when we say legacy income or generational wealth or generational income, because you can pass that down. You're leaving a legacy for those that are, going to come after you when you're gone, right? And it's allowing you to have that passive income forever and like passing it down to your kids. I mean, it's very powerful. So all right. So, instant benefits that you would get starting your high ticket business with us is you are going to get that cash back, like I spoke on before on the previous slides. These products are 100% tax write-off. So, if you are working like a 9 to 5, you get a W-2. And say if you don't have any like rental properties or you don't have like a lot of tax deductions, like this is going to help you. I know with kids, it does help to, when you have children, that kind of helps with taxes a little bit. But if you need more tax write-offs, like this isn't a great opportunity to write it off. And in most situations, I'm not an accountant, so I can't say, for sure, like your specific state and your situation. But in most cases, generally, when you purchase your products over 2 years, you can write them off. I think it's like 2 or 3 years, and that ends up what you end up getting back is and plus what Enagic will give you back for starting your business. Like you're almost getting your products, I don't want to say for free, but like you're not paying very much of them in the end when you are able to write them off as well. So really, really cool. There's no sign up fees. You can have multiple distributor IDs, meaning that if you think of this as like a franchise, you can have multiple franchises and multiple business centers so that way you can maximize the comp plan. I'm telling you, this company is so generous. They allow us to get all the juice on the out of the squeeze on this and then some. They really do. You're making anywhere from like $2,400 to $3,000 on your first sale. So the company is giving you money to start your business, and that's what you're making on your first sale. It's pretty freaking cool. And again, starting your business with $0 down and zero out of pocket, and then still getting that money back. And so I will touch on this really quickly as well. The company is offering a special promo until the end of November. So we're about halfway through of November. So it's only going on for like a couple more weeks. When you start, you automatically skip two of the ranks. So you end up starting out as 3A, which means you're going to get more cash back and you're going to earn more on your first sales. Okay. So you're basically just getting like you're basically getting a higher pay raise or pay start off right out the gate. All right. And you all are like probably thinking, this is all amazing, but Allie, how do we do this? Like, how do we make sales? Like, how does this work? So it's actually really, really simple. This business is honestly, it's easy. So you would share the opportunity either organically or like through paid advertising. Maybe you're watching the recording on this and you came through an ad. I connected with the ones that are on live. I connected with you organically, just I think in a Facebook group, most of you. Then you would invite to the class, like a web class that you're on right now. And so when you're new, you're not like doing and creating your own classes. Typically, we provide them for you, so you're not having to go and create that. So you're just inviting them to a class like you were invited here. After that, you would book a call with your sponsor or with our team. We do have a sales team that takes calls for us as well if needed or if that's what we want to do. And then you would invest in your own wellness products, and which is also going to unlock and it's going to activate your distributor ID. So then you're starting your business while you're also getting these amazing products in your home. And then you will get into our community that we use in our platform for training. They also, like I said, have the sales call option in there to have them done for you. And what happens when we plug people in and we get people started is we plug them into this platform. It's called the Freedom Era, and we're not creating anything. I'm not creating an onboarding from scratch. I'm not creating any type of trainings or anything from scratch. We literally have this tool. It's like almost like a business in a box. Think of it, even though it's virtual, it's not like a box that you receive to your house. And I'm literally just plugging people into that. I'm not recreating it. I'm not getting on Zoom for 10 hours a day and like doing trainings with everybody. So while that is amazing because it's a very duplicatable system where I'm not burning out and I'm not having to create all of this. So that's a really, really beautiful thing about this is that, you share it on social media, you're educating people, you can have things set up on automation, and then you are duplicating them. So does that make sense to everybody on how that works? Yes, and you get to earn while you learn, and you might be saying like, well, I don't have sales experience. So when we have somebody that come in that's new, we end up closing about your first $75,000 worth of sales. So that ends up being like anywhere between 4 and 5, but we work with you and make sure that you're like a good to go and comfortable, or if like you're good before then, like we'll let you fly. Mama Bear will let you leave the nest. I'll let you Mama bird will let you leave the nest. Um, yes, making sense. Okay, great. All right, so I did just add in a couple of moms here from our community that are also doing this business. I'm not going to read through these right now because we are already over time. But if you want to come back and like read their stories, you can screenshot them, whatever you want to do. But other moms that are in this community and just really sharing kind of their testimony and their story. So if you want to come back and look at these, I will get the replay to all of you who have attended live. Or if you're attending or watching the recording, you can pause it and read it. And there's a couple more. All right. So, what is next for you then? So, your first step is to get back to whoever invited you to this masterclass, whether you are on live or you're watching the recording, just get back to the person that shared this with you and book your call. So, that is the first thing is for you to book a call with the person that invited you here. Okay. And so, on this call, they will go over with you how to get started with $0 down and how you can earn that cash back, like I was mentioning before multiple times you and instantly get started with your business. So we'll also map out a personalized game plan for you to launch your business and then really show you how achievable that goal is and how you can reach your first financial goal within just a few weeks to months. Again, just depending on what your goal is, and how much time you have. And so I know some of you might have that fear right now coming up, wondering like, can I do this or the investment? Honestly, make sure that you still book that call. Having those fears, it's completely normal. We've all had that fear coming into this, but you know what? The worst thing that you could do is go through this entire presentation and then not book that call and not get all of the information and really understand what it could look like for you to do this. You could be closing a door that could absolutely change your family's life. And I would just hate for people to do that, right? Getting on the call allows you to get all of the information so that way you can make an informed and educated decision for you and your family, whether this is an alignment for you. So I just wanted to throw that out there because I know like that self-doubt and the devil can start talking in your ear and we don't want to listen to that. All right, so we have some bonuses for the fast action takers. So, for those of you that book your call within 24 hours of watching this, will receive a special bonus, and that will be shared on the call. It's up to the sponsor what they want to give. And I love giving. I absolutely love giving. So book your call, you will get a gift. Those that end up starting their business within 10 days will secure a spot in our 4-week mentorship program. And it's valued at almost $8,000, you guys. It is incredible the level of mentorship that we have here. And honestly, it's such a great way to come in and start your business powerfully and hit the ground running. And you would also receive a free ticket to our upcoming retreat, and that is valued at about $800. I will say I came in on a retreat. I started my business and I went to a retreat like a month later, and the experience is it's kind of indescribable. I feel like it's just something that you have to experience yourself to just know that feeling, but to be able to get in the room with women who have similar goals. They're like-minded and they want nothing more than to support you and see you win and see you thrive and grow and just love life. It really is something else. And I feel like you just can't really understand it unless you get in that room. So I'm super excited for that. So, and also to be able to give that to people because I know how much it impacted me when I started that way. And so this is just a little sneak peek of what it will be and what it will look like. That's the retreat that I went to. Um, all right. Before we wrap up, we are going to wrap up here. Was everyone just blown away by the products and by the compensation plan? I would love to hear, like, if you could drop in the chat, like, what was the biggest takeaway or eye opener for you? Give you guys a minute. Legacy income. I know it really is. It really is. I think that's the number one thing for me. It really is so incredible. The potential income and legacy option. Yeah, absolutely. It really is. All right, ladies, we are going to wrap this up then. And I'm going to leave you with this. So, in order to get your time and your money back, you must be willing to invest both time and money to do so. Because nothing changes if nothing changes. If you are that person, remember what we said, there's two types of people. There's two types of people. They come to events like this, they go through it, they watch, and then they just kind of forget about it. They shut the door on it and they don't do anything with the information and this incredible opportunity that God has laid in front of them, has presented to them on a silver platter, right? Or there is the kind of person that sees this and they run with it. They run with it, they take off and they change their life. So you get to decide, the choice is yours. And which type of person are you going to be? So book your call, get all your questions answered. And let me see there. I do see another comment here in the chat. The compensation plan, but the flexibility is your biggest want. Yeah, absolutely. Like I mentioned before, the time, right? Time is a non-renewable resource. It's our greatest asset, and it's something we can never get back. So I'm going to leave you ladies with that. I am going to turn the recording off. If you ladies have questions, if you want to pop them in the chat, if anyone has questions, I will just stop the recording.